Hey, beautiful creatures, welcome back for another reading. It's a general message, just kind of see what's going on in the energy with everybody. And I've already pulled some oracle cards that we're going to talk about. I've asked them all to come out face down, so I'm not sure what they are either. We'll get into them as we go. So, the first card we have here is Talisman, which I feel like can be said for a lot of things. There's lots of different symbolism in this picture, so maybe it's like a nod to look for the symbolism and synchronicities, or if you've been noticing any already, this is a sign that the message is for you. And of course, take whatever resonates in this message, leave the rest for someone else. Don't try to fit pieces into your story if it doesn't feel right. Like there's a lot of times where I put names to energies that may not fit your story, but you still understand if the story still feels right, even if the names are different. If that's not the case, don't do that. That doesn't help anybody or the situation. So I don't know where that came from, but it just kind of had to come out. But 49 actually reduces to 13, which is a very spiritual, very witchy number, right? So calling back your power, knowing how strong you are, maybe these signs, synchronicities are reminding you of that. But talisman, maybe you should and again, if you do recognize as someone who's like witchy and whatnot, have an altar, maybe talismans of certain deities that call to you, or runes, or again symbolism, and putting that in a space where you can see every day would be helpful for whatever it is that you're currently going through. But that's just an idea that's kind of coming to mind. So interesting, because this side of the photo is very busy, and this is just like kind of clear grass. So maybe it's again incorporating this busy imaginative side of yourself into the everyday side of yourself. Incorporate magic into everything you do somehow. The green man with growth. Beautiful, beautiful picture. And again, I'm just seeing like the runes up here, like the runes and talismans. So again, maybe like reading your own runes would be something helpful for you. But 10 in tarot is the Wheel of Fortune also. So like I do want to talk about how this growth is leading to good fortune. And I feel like it's a new version of yourself. It's again. I don't know why that word's coming out so much for me right now. But I see this the crystal sphere with the snake. You're shedding an old skin, an old version of yourself, becoming something new. And you may not exactly know all of the aspects of who that is yet, but it's all coming together as it should be. All the doors will be opened when the time is right, divine timing, right? But trusting in the universe. And I feel like, again, that's something that you do now. It's not something I have to remind you of. This trust is just something you have innately in you, where it's like, I know that I'm not where I'm supposed to be, but each day I'm going to keep moving. Each day I'm going to keep doing something towards whatever that is. And eventually I'll be at the doorway, the threshold of whatever's calling to me. Let's take a look. I just want to actually I just noticed the stag here really quickly in this photo. I'm not sure if you can see the stag there. But, it's like a gentle and fierce energy, right? Embarking, keep going forward. When I think of the deer, I think of something, it's like a gentle guide on your healing journey, right? With growth, all the green with the heart chakra. Be gentle to yourself because you are so strong. And then these acorns here, I'm also kind of just circling in on now. Just such abundance in your future, because again, none of them are on the ground. They're all very high up in the tree. It's even a little bit out of reach at this moment, but not for long. That will change. The Wheel of Fortune, right, will circle through, and the abundance will fall into your lap almost. But that's not without hard work on your end either. We have Pools of Christ Light. Open your heart, spread unconditional love. It's a beautiful, beautiful card. Again, a lot of symbolism in this photo without it being kind of jumbled like the talisman, but the moon, the horizon over the water, the butterflies of transformation, the unicorn of purity and light. I feel like this is, again, energies that are surrounding you through whatever transformation you're going through. And perhaps this is coming up so strongly with like this purity, this light, because you feel like in a very dark and tumultuous period right now. This light within you, around you, it will, I think it's within you, honestly, because that just makes me feel like, I'm just looking at that here, the crystal ball, I think it's up within. But this light within you is never wavering, never wandering. It's always there. It's always beautiful and bright. Whether you choose to acknowledge it or how much you acknowledge it, that's, again, within your power. I just saw 555 on the timer. So again, positive change. We don't get positive change out of a great situation. We get positive change out of a situation that's not working for us. So know that whatever you're growing through, not, that was a pun on going through, but whatever you're growing through right now is transmuting itself into something really beautiful. And I feel like you can help that as well. Open your heart, spread unconditional love by like acts of kindness. Things like that. You know, it kind of reminds me, I had a client reach out and she feels like something's attached to her, something's following her. And like, honestly, with peace and love, that's not really something that I deal with per se, or have a lot come up in my life. So like, I just kind of, again, blessed her as much as I could and gave her the advice that I have for her and any recommendations on who to go to or what I would do. But like, one of the things of what I do that I told her is like, provide acts of kindness. Not in with any way of expectations and anything. Just try being kind and doing acts of kindness and see where that goes. Because I feel like, again, when you're battling dark and light, it takes, like, let's talk about painting as the metaphor, the example. We'll just metaphor on metaphor today. But like, if you have a canvas, a white canvas, it takes one coat of black paint to cover a white canvas, while it will take 10 coats of white paint to cover that black canvas and return it to white. So like, we are always working harder. It takes a lot more work, but at the end, it's such a beautiful, bright, new, like the pure kind of result. So again, if you're able to follow along with whatever that was, that little tangent, I feel like acts of kindness, spreading unconditional love, will help you, again, transmute that energy a lot faster. Divine Mother, nurturing, compassion, grace. Yeah, exactly. Like that's exactly. And both of these numbers reduce to 1. So it's, again, within yourself. So to be kind to yourself, speak kindly, think kindly, treat yourself kindly, nurturing, compassion, grace. How would you treat yourself if you were your own mother, right? If you see yourself as a child, how would you mother that child in the best way possible, trying to give them everything they need, want, that just you want them to have. So again, and another full moon, so maybe moons, because I just seen like lots of spheres, and even it's not a deck that, you know what, maybe it is a deck that we're going to use today, because I'm just looking at like the Wild Unknown Alchemy deck, and I'll just kind of show it here. Lots of spheres. Sorry, I keep hitting the box my camera's on. So maybe we will use that today, but lots and lots of spheres. Full moon symbolism again, full circle, unity, oneness. So probably all lessons that we can learn from in this growing adventure that we're on. That's really beautiful. But I do, just kind of drawing back to talismans, I do feel like there are sign synchronicities that are kind of pushing you towards maybe something that is outside of your comfort zone. That's why like the light is coming here as well, the reminder of your growth. Follow that niggle, that little string inside your gut that pulls you towards something, a spark of curiosity. Find out what's deeper in that, right? Let's pull up our last oracle card. I say last, but I'm looking at a bunch here more, and I have 2 decks beside me. So the last that I've already pre-shuffled for us. And Dragon Power, number 11. So we started and end with an 11, because 49 reduces to 11, and this is actually the card of 11. But I do, look, another sphere. another full moon within them, and then a moon in the trees as well. But she looks tired, exhausted. Again, it's reclaiming that power, remembering who you are and how powerful you are, and just how special you are. Let's talk you up for a second, because I feel like that's maybe the theme of this message is and again, every person is unique, beautiful, brilliant, and courageous, and incredible in their own beautiful way, and it's going to be different from everybody else's. So please know that how can I explain this? It's like, don't compare your journey to someone else's, because they're equally as beautiful, equally as important, and the ripple effects are huge, right? For everyone involved. So, again, reclaiming your power and being in your best energy, being compassionate and nurturing to yourself, giving yourself unconditional love, that only has positive effects in everywhere in your life. I really do feel like that is true. So I'm going to take one of these little mystical wisdom decks. All right, well, the deck is mystical wisdom, and we're going to take a pull from it. It's just kind of staring at me all day. I feel like there might be another one that I'll take, but we'll see how the reading goes. I'm just kind of being guided as I am. Thank you. So the card that came out is Originality, Blaze Your Own Trail. Yeah, we were just saying how incredibly, well, let's fit here, kind of, how incredibly unique and brilliant and special every single person, that means you, are in their own way in their sphere. I do think spheres are important. So maybe you should Google like the meaning of a sphere or a circle, and symbol, like in symbology, and see if there's something that kind of jumps out to you. Because I do feel like, even when I read the books for things, which we will do with the King Cran deck that we talked about earlier, even when I read the books, I like to read that information not as a whole to people, but like obviously you read it as a whole. But what it is like, I'm waiting for that line, that bit of information, that one phrase, even word, to jump out and hit your ears, your brains, your spirit in the way and frequency that it's meant to. So I guess we'll get into some tarot cards now. Nope, just kidding. We're going to get an Ascended Masters card too. And then we're going to get into some tarot cards, I guess. Or maybe this will be just an oracle reading and see what happens with that. Because I have 2 more oracle decks that I still want to read for you before I close this reading. And it's already 13 minutes almost. So, yeah. What Ascended Master is helping you the most right now? Or... no, helping you the most, or is like, I don't know, in your life the heaviest right now? What Ascended Masters in the collective? I guess we're gonna need 3 because it is a collective. I'm not sure that was the right one, but this one is. Or maybe we'll just take all of them because it came out for a reason. Because like, I'm a little sensitive with this subject, and let's talk about that card first. It's Twin Flame with Angus. Okay. I'm a little salty about twin flames right now because I do feel like my higher self showed me that I had one. But at the end of the day, that doesn't mean you have a happy life together. You both have to grow separately. Their 3D self may choose differently, right? Like, if there's so many things that fall apart in this, and at the end of the day, I don't think the end goal is you getting together and living this happy, beautiful life. That's just icing on top. I think the importance of it is that you met, that there was something that was ignited in you, something that was sparked. You can't go back from that. But it's beautiful in its own right, like the growing, right? You can't shrink back into a skin that's no longer your size. You've outgrown it. And that's, I think, the importance of having a twin flame. And again, I don't think twin flame is the other half of your soul. I think it's like a dual soul. Like, together, you are whole. You are one. You are everything. You're the art and science of the world, creation, of unity. But I do feel like there are aspects of that aren't unlocked, seen, known, like sparked. I don't know how to get the words out until you come across that person. And it could even just be locking eyes with, having a conversation with. it makes you realize that there's more out there, and it's really beautiful. So again, tangent over. Let's keep going. We have purification with white Terra. We have balance, career, and home life with Isis. And we also have stay focused with Kuthumi. I'm actually gonna just switch. So I put twin flame over there because I'm like, I'm mad at it. But that's a me issue. Maybe I should sit with that energy and figure out what that's all about, because that's on the me. But here are some beautiful, beautiful, beautiful ascended masters that are heavy in your life right now, trying to help you. Again, it's going to be different for everyone, so I'm not going to touch too much about it. But staying focused, purification, balance between home and life. I do feel like your life is changing, and therefore finding a good balance, becoming grounded is really important right now. Purification of the old, releasing that, right? This is open your heart, spread unconditional love. I feel like that's part of purification. And staying focused on how powerful and beautiful your future is. I feel like that's all really, really important messaging. Yes, we are going to pull a few tarot cards. Thank you. Let's go ahead to the collective, and we'll just get a handful of cards to kind of, oh, I'm so sorry. I bent one of the corners. We'll get a handful of cards just to kind of maybe some advice and guidance on how to move through this energy. Please and thank you. Okay. Okay. Let's start with these guys and see how we are. So we have strength. That's again like when I saw 555, the positive change. Strength isn't needed when you're not feeling scared, right? This whale is scared, but have strength. The Chariot, the Lovers, interesting. I'm putting that over to Twin Flames as well. The Ace of Wands, the Three of Pentacles, and the High Priestess. These are beautiful, beautiful cards, collective. And we are gonna talk about them because that's what we're here for. So again, okay. And Judgment. I'm gonna make a left fit there. Maybe if I move everything a little down more. So with strength in the Chariot, I feel like, again, you've got to kind of pick yourself up by the bootstraps a little bit, or bootstraps, whatever those are. Not in a way where like you're like, again, you've grown, you're powerful. It's time to move forward again. That's kind of the message here. So to have strength, move forward. It's going to be a positive movement. With the Lovers, I do believe, like, again, and read it however you want to read it, right, Viora? Because we're taking the story how it resonates to you. But I'm not sure this is and it could be because it's over Twin Flames. But it doesn't necessarily have to be about a love choice or lover in general. She's choosing between two worlds. Do you see? And let me pick this card up. She's choosing between two worlds. It's a choice. Follow your heart, right? Because once you make that decision, because it's a choice, you have to decide which way to go. Something changes, something sparks. The Three of Pentacles, the High Priestess, Judgment. It's going to be different for everyone, so I'm not really getting any like specific examples, but there's something that reignites in you. You find your purpose, your passion, you find that lane. It's just hyper speeds you to exactly where you want to be. And I do feel like that's something within a community, helping others, working with others. And this could be, again, working with people or working with your spirit guides, working with the Fae, the otherworldly, the Nevers. These are beautiful, beautiful beings who deserve a time and attention just as much as human beings do. So it could be different for everyone, and I think it is. Yeah. The advice with these cards, again, I think it's really just about making your choice, choosing what worlds you really want to live in, because with what comes next is a gift from the universe, right? You can't be given a gift without making a clear choice, and you have one foot in the water, one on land right now, so to speak. The High Priestess, again, she has everything on the table here also, just like the Magician would, to alchemize her future, her beginning. And again, the full moon, the sphere, I would even count that as a sphere. Even in the Judgment card, they're breaking out of bubbles. It's like a higher calling that you've started to follow. And it doesn't need to be psychically, spiritually. Of course, I very much feel like it is. It could just be like anything that's important to you. You decided to like break out of the matrix, so to speak. Listen to the sounds in the trees blowing. I don't know. It's really interesting. It's really beautiful. And I feel like, again, it's uniquely originality. It's going to be unique to you. Okay. So what I want to do is, sorry, another card was poking out, and it's the Magician, right? You're manifesting everything you need. Another sphere. Everything you need, everything, all the opportunities, the doors. You just, I think, need to step up to the threshold, is really what I'm getting here. So because we were really drawn to the Alchemy deck by the Kim Krans, that was weird of me, but we were really drawn to this Alchemy deck. So, and I just want to, 20, oh, that was really funny. It was 2112. My camera's not plugged in right now, so I'm just going to pause the video and then turn it back on so it doesn't stop the recording midway through. There we go. So we were really drawn to this deck today. So I do believe there's a message in here for you. So let's go ahead and get one card to read to the collective, and we're actually going to read it from the book. And then before we go, I am going to get a couple of these beautiful mantra cards because they are dope and helpful and just lovely, and I think we'll have something beautiful come out of it. So please and thank you. Can I have one card for the collective that we are to read from the book? Thank you. Oh, we got two. I guess we'll just read them both. I was trying to see which one was holding the most energy, but and one of them does hold more energy, so maybe one will be more relevant than the other, but they were both quite lively. So we have Sugar with I'm really bad at words and stuff. I'm super dyslexic, so we're just gonna say Sugar. And look how beautiful that card is, just as it is. So let's go ahead and get Sugar. Oh, how sugar dances on the tongue. No matter how intellectual and scholarly our pursuits, sugar reminds us of our longing for simple pleasures. Until the 12th century, our need for sweetness, it is, after all, one of the 5 essential tastes of Ayurveda, was fulfilled by raw honey offered by the bees. This material had many medicinal properties and was known in alchemy as a sacred elixir. Now most of our sources of sweetness, both literally and metaphorically, are highly processed, defined by us by a culture of consumption. This card is a call to explore the simple sweetness in life. You can add tenderness to your alchemical experiment. Can you add tenderness to your alchemical experiment? How about joy or even laughter? It is likely the pleasure you crave will not be found from manufactured means, but from the childlike wonder residing in the heart. Remember that alchemical wisdom of like attracts like. Go deeper by listening to Nina Simone perform the song A Little Sugar in My Bowl to ponder the power of attraction and aversion. And the 2 side messages say, one of sugar's physical attributes is stickiness. See how this concept affects the cards within reading and the personalities involved. Attachment rarely severs. And the other one says, pleasure of healing in and of itself. What is the simplest, most feasible means of joy you can participate in today? And it does not have to be big and boisterous. Joy is everywhere. And I just want to go ahead and put that under here for a second. So like if you do want to pause that, I'm reading better because again, I'm super dyslexic. Sorry about it. You can. And the other card we have today is Glass, which I actually think is the card right before it. So perhaps it was sticky cards, perhaps it was not. We'll see. So speculum, glass, transparency, focus, seeing. Oh, what was their pleasure? So the keywords for sugar were sacred, sweetness, pleasure, and attraction. So these keywords are transparency, focus, seeing. Glass transmits a sacred exchange when between the alchemist and their work. Through the glass vessel, the alchemist sees their work, and the work sees the alchemist. What was once clouded in confusion becomes focused. What was once veiled becomes obvious. How are you currently seeing the world? What is your perception? The glass can be thought of as a gift of true perception. With it, you naturally focus on what is most central in your life. All else fails in the periphery. The next right action becomes clear. Glass is fragile by nature and requires regular cleaning. So find daily practices that align your vision to what is true. It is easy to slip into old mode of seeing, particularly someone else's. So hold steady to their new alchemical lenses. Their power is mighty. Go deeper. View Robert Smithson's. So sorry. There's no fighting this sneeze. Go deeper by viewing Robert Smithson's sculpture, Map of Broken Glass, Atlantis. To ponder, the sand becoming glass. The two sides say, Some speak of rose-colored glasses that shift our perspective. Take inventory on what lens you are looking through. Is the glass muddy, colored, cracked, or crystal clear? And glass is the separator. It puts a clear barrier between the observer and the observed. Ponder on this distance making and whether it is serving or hindering. And again, just going to put out there for you. Should you want to pause and read yourself. That's pretty beautiful, though. And I think both of them are relevant, honestly. I think that, again, it's two different sides of the glass, the sweetness and the focus of life. Can you bring joy into everything that you're doing? I think you can. And I think that's by looking at the glass, what kind of lens are you looking through, right? More spheres in both of the cards. I don't mean to, I'm not trying to beat a dead horse here, but I do think that if you're still here in this reading, you should really look up what spheres, the symbolisms of spheres. And I'm really sorry for just being super crude there with my nose blowing. Can we get 5 cards for the collective? And I see you, purple card. Okay. So it says, rewiring the nervous system. I find strength in surviving my traumas. Inspiring others. I'll show the friends too. I help others feel empowered by acknowledging their gifts. Integrating the ego. Everything is for me, not against me. Oh, that is such a great lesson. When you realize that everything is working for you and not against you, that changes everything. It's perspective, the glass color, right? And that's in every aspect. When things don't go your way, understand that is because it is not aligned with who you are, where you're going, what you're meant to do and be. Allowing appreciation. The value of my life increases each time I appreciate everything in it. That's great advice. Being grateful and appreciative. That's a beautiful energy to stay in as much as you can. And opening my mind. I allow myself to see beyond my beliefs and ideas. Again, I feel like this is a lot to do with perspective as your advice. Seeing things from a different perspective, looking at things through different lenses of the muddy, the rose color, the cracked, the clear. Definitely look at things with just, this beautiful perspective. Is that everything? I think we're going to get a crystal ball card for you. There's so much today. This is a really big general reading. Usually they're not so long, but I have this tiny little deck. It's so cute and small. And we're going to go ahead and just pick one card. And it's kind of one of those answer cards. So think of a question maybe, and this will be your answer for you, collective. So for the collective, please. Let go. But there's more. So reconsider. and listen to your intuition. So I'm going to say that's a gentle no. Let go, reconsider, and listen to your intuition. It's the guidance coming here for whatever you just kind of asked yourself, and hopefully you gave yourself enough time to ask yourself a question. Or maybe you just you're just thinking of a situation while we were doing this reading. I do feel like everything that happens in a reading happens for a reason. And here we are. So 9 minutes exactly on the timer. That's a good spot to say goodbye. I think our candle is flickering out as well. But I love your guts and gross bits. And I think you're beautiful. So see you later.